Good morning, it's Paige from Our Amazing Journey, and I am here in the parking lot of Hollywood Studios at Rope Drop today. Now Matt has to work, so we are flying solo, but I figured this was the perfect opportunity to try some of the newly reopened single rider lines. So single rider lines here at Hollywood Studios are for Rock and Roller Coaster and Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. Keep in mind, if you choose to do the single rider line, you will be separated from the rest of your party. However, they typically move much faster than the traditional lines. So if you're okay with being separated from the rest of your party, typically the single rider line is a great option for getting on rides quickly. Now the lines here at Hollywood Studios have been very, very long lately, so I'm curious to see how quickly we're able to get on using the single rider lines. Oh, and we're going to ride Rise of the Resistance because I am boarding group number 17, which is absolutely phenomenal. So come along with me. All right, so it is 8:40 right now. We're about 20 minutes before the official park opening, but they're letting us head down to Tower of Terror, which is one of my all-time favorite rides. So this will be really neat if we can get on Tower of Terror first and then head over to Rise of the Resistance. Look at this view. Tower of Terror. It looks to be about a 20-minute wait right now, which is not bad at all. Let's do this. Good news, it was only about a 12-minute wait from the start of the line to the pre-show, so we are almost at the front of the line, all ready for the elevator.
Very own the Twilight Zone.
So Tower of Terror was awesome as always. Everyone on my elevator was so into it, lots of screaming, which always makes it more fun. But I just checked the app and my estimated ride time for Rise of the Resistance is now about 10 o'clock and it's a little after 9. So I think I'm gonna head on over to the Rock and Roller Coaster and try our first single rider line of the day. All right, so we are headed on over to Rock and Roller Coaster. It is 9:05 and it's listing a 40-minute wait in the regular queue. So let's see how long it takes us in the single rider line. Hollywood Studios definitely has my favorite rides of all of the Disney parks. Okay, happy news, the single rider line is open and it doesn't look like there's anyone in this line, but a whole lot of people in the regular line. There's literally not another person in the single rider line. It was 9:07 when I got in line, so it shouldn't take very long at all.
Shouldn't ride, and all passengers must meet the minimum height requirement. If you're traveling with kids, be sure to keep an eye on them.
Hi, Sal, it's me. Listen, I'm gonna need a bigger car. Make it a stretch. In fact, make it a super stretch. Right. Excuse me. Okay, folks. Look, the show is all the way across town.
All the way down to the next
So Rock Rockin' Roller Coaster was a blast. Like I said earlier, the rides here at Hollywood Studios are definitely my favorite rides in all of Disney World. So the regular wait time listed a wait of 40 minutes, and I did single rider, and even counting the pre-show, my butt was in my seat within 13 minutes. So definitely well worth doing the single rider line for Rockin' Roller Coaster this morning. It looks like we still have about 55 minutes or so before our Rise of the Resistance boarding group will be called. So I'm going to head over to Smuggler's Run, which is currently listing a wait time of 70 minutes, to see how long it'll take me on single rider. And this is where we're headed, the Millennium Falcon. So the standby wait time still says 70 minutes, but we're headed on over to the single rider line. So it is, let's see, 9:41 right now. Let's see how long the single rider line takes us. It's 9:41. All right, so we are in the single rider queue for Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. I will say the only downside of this is that you do miss out on some of the regular queue, and it's an awesome queue. But if I don't have to wait 70 minutes, it is well worth it. We have made it into the Millennium Falcon. Take a look at this. It took only 15 minutes.
Por favor, permanezcan sentados y cuide a los niños. Gracias.
Everybody have a seat, buckle up the seatbelt.
Here we go.
Flight engineer, prepare that. Hit your flashing buttons. You'd better be faster when we get into real trouble. Right, pilot, push the flashing button to take off. Pilot on the left, move your stick to fly right and left. I was just about to say that. Pilot on the right, pull back on the stick to fly out, and pull forward to fly down. Now let's go get that coaxium. Right, pilot, make the jump to light speed. Gravity coaxium. You see, just as I promised, my friend. Come on, let's get another container of coaxium. Pilots, line up behind the train so we can harpoon that last car. Yes, Chewie will pilot us in remotely. You retrieve one container of coaxium. This would greatly help the resistance. You have heard the first order.
Wow, so just got off of Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, and the regular queue stated a 70-minute wait, but I just did the single rider queue instead, and it took me exactly 15 minutes from the point where I entered the queue to the point where I was entering the shuttle, the Millennium Falcon, to be seated. So definitely well worth it. Only things to keep in mind, if you do the single rider line, you do miss out on the more immersive queue. It's really just a plain staircase line instead for the single riders. And you will also definitely not be a pilot if you choose to do single rider line. But if you're okay with that, well worth it. 15-minute wait versus a 70-minute wait. And my boarding group for Rise of the Resistance was just called, so we're gonna head on over to Rise of the Resistance. Yeah, look at this line now. This is the line for Millennium Falcon. And it just goes on and on and on. Still saying a 70-minute wait for the regular queue. Alright, super cool. We didn't even have to go through the whole queue. It was pretty much a walk-on right into the pre-show. So we did not have to walk the whole queue for Rise of the Resistance. It was a walk-on to the pre-show room. Check this out.
BB-8, is everyone assembled? Good. Should you be in flight prep? Recruits, Thank you for joining the cause. A covert resistance team led by my friend Finn has infiltrated a first-order Star Destroyer that is now headed to this system. Your outpost on Batu is no longer safe. We have transports waiting to take you to General Organa's secret base on Pucara.
They look so real, and this room is massive. This never gets old. Very cool.
Leave us.
Yes, General.
Enemies of the First Order. We will soon snuff out your meager resistance. You chose the wrong side, and now you will pay. The resistance prisoners.
You have what I want. You know the location of the secret base, and I will take it from you.
We'll need it on the bridge.
Keep the prisoners here. I will return to finish this personally.
You guys don't feel we're part of the resistance. We're gonna bring you guys out.
Then head down to the escape pod base. Those droids are programmed to return you to Batu. Hurry and don't get caught. Lieutenant Beck will guide you. Recruits!
Oh wow. They're huge!
Take cover, recruits! If anyone's back in a blaster, now's a good time. The escape pod's just below us! Wait, why are you going up? I said down! Up is bad! Up is real bad! Fiction, raise the shields!
Shields? I see no evidence.
Now!
Sound the alarm! All personnel to their stations!
Sir, the prisoners have escaped.
How brave, but ultimately hopeless. There's no escape. You will tell me the location of the secret base, and then I will destroy you and the resistance.
It's so windy!
Sector 4. Verification pending.
Awesome ride. Just got off of Rise of the Resistance. Best part was we didn't really have to wait in line at all. So once they scanned my magic band, walked through the very beginning of the outdoor queue, and then they basically walked us right into the pre-show room. So we didn't need to walk through really the main queue much at all, just directly into the pre-show room. And that ride does not have single rider, but I think because we had a relatively early morning boarding group, we got on without having to wait in much of a line at all. And I'll post the link to the video where we show how to get a Rise of the Resistance boarding group, so check the description for that. But at this point it's a little past 10:30, I think it's 10:35, and we've already been on Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, and Rise of the Resistance. And since the hosted park opening was 9 o'clock, we did all of that in just over an hour and a half since the official park opening. So I would say say that's a very successful morning here at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So I have my chai tea latte from Joffrey's. Highly recommend Joffrey's. It often has a much shorter line than Starbucks in any of the Disney parks. Had an awesome day here at Hollywood Studios flying solo. Definitely not as fun without Matt. I definitely wish that Matt was here right now and not at work, but it was a great opportunity to try out the single rider lines. So again, the two rides that offer single rider line options here at Hollywood Studios are Rock and Roller Coaster and Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. We waited just 13 minutes in the single rider line for Rock and Roller Coaster, and it had a posted wait time of 40 minutes in the regular line, and we waited just 15 minutes for Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, and it had a posted wait time of 70 minutes in the regular line. So for me, very much worth it. Again, remember that you will be separated from the rest of your party, so you will not be able to ride together if you choose to do the single rider line. However, in a matter of an hour and a half since the park officially opened, I was able to ride Tower of Terror, which only had a 20-minute wait. That one does not offer a single rider line option, but it was before the park officially opened, so only a 20-minute wait, and I think we waited maybe 10. It was short. It was a very short line for Tower of Terror. And then, yeah, then we went to Rock and Roller Coaster, Smuggler's Run, and hopped on Rise of the Resistance, all in a matter of an hour and a half after the park officially opened at 9 o'clock. So it's getting hot, lines are crazy long now, so I'm going to take my chai tea latte and head home, but Matt and I will be back very soon. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up, like this video, and be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of our fun adventures. I'll see you soon. Bye!